can we just get back to another question from
Yes.
our viewers, from our listeners?
Okay. Yes.
Can you ask DJ that that I have got my penis is like a banana shape? Is that Peyronie's disease?
Yes.
And who is Peyronie?
Oh,
It's a great question.
well, Peyronie.
My
Okay.
penis is like a banana.
It's like a banana, goes like that, and he goes, the girls love it because it gets the G spot, right? But,
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
well, he's just worrying about something about the disease.
No,
'cause
it is a common.
skin,
It's a common
isn't it?
thing. It's a common
Yeah.
thing. So I mean, Peyronie's, which is basically just the condition where the erectile tissues of the penis, that tissue gets a bit of scar tissue in it, and normally it's like an elastic band. So normally when it stretches, it expands all equally. But if you get a little bit of a fixed bit of fibrotic scar tissue in one spot,
Off
you
to the side.
it can go left, right, up, down, spiral, or every direction.
It can be in swing, out swing.
I've seen a few sort of warny, pretty heavy leg spinners go. Sort of, yeah.
So what was the guy's name? Peyronie, was it?
Well, he was obviously
You know,
the first doctor that discovered it, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
that's
Was
right.
it? Oh, it was.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So it
there-
wasn't a
we
bloke
got all
who had
these
a big
what we call
banana.
eponymous. No.
Well, and Peyronie's an
No.
Italian name, and you should know that because you're Italian.
Yeah, well, the bloke who asked me that was named Mario. So it was.
And then they started a beer company called Peyronie, and that they went from there.
It fixes it. That's the treatment. Yeah,
and I only say that because
it makes you worry about it less.
That's an infection, and you would do
Yeah,
it.
no, well, yeah. So actually, it's a good point that if blokes notice any curve, so it only curves when they've got an erection, right? So when it's just sitting, sort of resting, so to speak, having a snooze, then they're not going to notice it.
Limp biscuit.
But when they
Yeah.
when they crack a fat, so to speak,
Yeah.
then it's going to curve left, right, front, up, down, and then
break, yeah.
the good thing is, if they notice a bit of a leg break, then they've got to get onto it early, because if you get onto it early, you can start taking tablets, which we use like a little Cialis, a bit like a long-acting Viagra, and anti-inflammatories, and you can actually stop it getting worse. Whereas if you ignore it, which is what a lot of blokes do, and they come to see me a year or two later and they say, oh, it's really bad now, I say, you should have come see me a year ago because it would have been easier to treat
Yeah,
then.
sure. It's like everything.
So if they leave it a year,
Yeah.
it's the big warny leg break. It's like really turning, gripping and
It's like the ball of the century,
So is it true when he says it does hit the G spot? Would that be right? Because of
If
the
it's going
curvature?
up, it could be handy.
Or you could root around the corner if it's on the.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I knew we were going to get. I knew we
You
were
have
going
to-
to get
and
to
I know
this
some
level
of-
at some stage.
They have to
Yeah.
experiment with new positions. Yeah,
well,
that's
I know
right. You have
some of our
to
women
adapt.
listeners will
Yeah.
would like to hear that advice.
No, that's good. No, but and also sometimes we actually have to use, believe it or not, do you ever hear of traction? Like when people used to break
in
their
your
bones
leg.
back in the
Yeah,
day, and they
yeah,
put their leg on traction to
No,
help
you don't
line
put
the
the old
bones up.
smarty in traction.
Yeah, we put the old fella in traction because
The old smorty. The smorty in traction. Jesus, I tell you
that
what,
word.
if you had to put Joel Garner in traction, it would have been 3 foot long.
tripod.
Mate.